so hopefully you will be able to hear. We really appreciate you joining us. I'm sorry it's not the same as being face-to-face with us here, but thank you for tuning in today. Hello, Anna, how are you? Good, we have some good, we've made this much better. Okay, folks, can I suggest we now come down to the cheap seats at the front here? We're just going live now on Instagram. We've already got 6 people watching us. And we're going to go live on YouTube in a minute. So if you could finish your conversations and come down, that would be great. Okay. Go close on the screen. Okay, let's have a start, folks. I've lost my glasses. Oh. Where are they? No, can't find them. I think it must be on here. Oh. Girls, come on down. We're going to start our session tonight. Can we say a really big welcome to anybody who's here for the first time? Welcome. Roman, Privit, welcome, welcome. If we can begin to finish our conversation, sorry guys, come on, sit down now because we're going to start. We have such a really good program for you today. And it's lovely that some younger children are here. You're very welcome, boys and girls. I think there's probably about 30 people in the room here. So you're really, really welcome. Let's just begin to finish those conversations, folks. Sorry, 5, 4, 3, 2, welcome. Couple of housekeepings. So we're on Instagram live tonight and we're also on YouTube. Stefan has got these 3 cameras and the screen, so hopefully bit by bit every week we're making the content that we're doing here, which we've co-designed, available to a wider group of people. Couple of notices. First of all, where's Anna? Anna, come up here, love. So on the 13th and the 20th of March, what is happening? It's an arts event. Anna, tell them in Ukraine if you want. Quick as you can.
Ми робимо арт-івент для того, щоб розширити наш нетворкінг. Тобто ми збираємо якомога більше художників тут і запрошуємо місцевих, хто пов'язаний з арт-індустрією, з дизайн-індустрією, з навчаннями, прийти до нас, подивитися наші роботи, тобто щоб розширити наше коло спілкування. Тому що ми зазвичай маємо спілкування з юристами, з маркетологами, з бізнесами, career development, ми хочемо більше про арт. Для тих, хто з нас створює. Посмішки трошечки. Hey!
Anna, thank you for all that you're doing. Remember, this is about celebrating the art, the culture, the music, the food from Ukraine. If you want to be involved, come and see Anna. Really, this is going to be significant. I think you have about 20 artists coming? Totally. Okay. So thank you so much. This is in the program, and on this flyer, which we're going to start promoting on social media, you just scan that ticket in, and you have to buy a ticket for £5. If you are involved in hosting and celebrating and running the event, you don't pay. But you need to let us know, because we can only have 80 people in this room. After that, it gets a bit dangerous, okay? So that's on the 13th and the 20th, and it's in the program there. Next, I want to introduce you to somebody very special. Farzana, come up here. Let's give her some love. Thank you so much. Well,
Pleasure.
in a moment. Listen, this is a wonderful woman who runs a project called...
Mothers into Work.
Who's a mother here? Who's a mother here? Absolutely important. How do we get back into work? We've got about 10 minutes for you just to share the programme.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I've
you
also
so
got on
much.
here your flyer, which is here as well. But let's start with you.
Right, lovely. So it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Stephen, for all your hard work in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. It's such a joy. And this wonderful community of Ukrainian women that are here, many of whom are mothers. It's an absolute pleasure and my real privilege to be here. Thank you so much for this wonderful warm welcome and this fabulous venue. So Mothers into Work, we are a community interest company and our mission is to support mothers into work and to help them find good jobs. And I am the founder and CEO of Mothers into Work. It's my idea. And here, if we look, we have the hand and the birds flying because we want every single mother to be working in a good job that she enjoys so she is free just like the birds. And we have one mission, one destination, which is to help mums find connections with good companies and training and opportunities for work. So my job every single day is to reach out to companies. So today I was talking to a big bank and I was asking them to make some opportunities to come and work with mothers, including Ukrainian mothers, to give a way of having some free training, maybe some free work experience, going into a bank, having some work experience, some free online training, how to do your CV, how to do your interview skills, and then once you do your training, you then have got a reference on your CV for a company and you have done some training. So this is what I'm trying to do. And sometimes some of the companies, I want them to give a real job to a mum. So at the end, there might be a real job. So we have in March, we are inviting women to come along to Central London on the 15th of March in the afternoon at 12:30 p.m. for 2 hours, because there is a job which is work experience, 2 weeks at a top construction company. Do not worry if you are no background or no experience in construction. It's okay. This job is office-based and it is a project management role. So you come for 2 weeks and it's between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. for 2 weeks. At the end, you get training and you get reference, and maybe for the right candidate, there will be a job. So that's one, and there will be more and more and more, because every day I'm working hard and I'm just going to carry on making more opportunities. So if you're interested, there is an email. You can email me or you can email Neda at Mace, and please come along for the information afternoon. And if this goes well, then we may have, Mace is a very big construction company. They may have many, many, many more opportunities, and that will be fantastic. So this is all about me. Thank you so much for this wonderful. Thank you, Stephen.
Farzana, thank you so much. Look, this is a good opportunity for some of you. The thing that Farzana can say to this company is we have people who've got great work ethic. great qualifications, great attitude, great experience. Can you help them just because they don't speak brilliant English? Now, some of your English is getting better week by week by week. So I think this is an opportunity to step forward, okay? So if anybody wants to have work experience or just go to that session, say to Helena, and then Helena will link with Farzana. I think if you have lots of emails, you don't know who they are, that's easier for us to do that. Anna, you wanted to say something.
It's women.
It's
women.
It's women. Yeah.
It's women. The specification says invitation to women.
Good. I think the reason why Farzana is really important about this, a lot of women, I speak from my own experience, have such a drop after they've had children and they're out of the workforce for maybe sometimes 6 months, maybe 2 years, maybe longer, that they need a special help. But of course, every woman is welcome, and for other jobs, we want to get some jobs for men as well. Farzana, thank you for coming, and thank you. Let's give her a clap. Come on, big clap. Well done. And are you going to stay around for a bit today?
Oh, yes,
Brilliant.
definitely.
So,
any questions, come and talk to me, come and ask me. You're most welcome. Always happy to help you. And I know you have many good skills, very, very strong skills. And I'm a big supporter of helping your community. And I know that English is one thing, but it's okay. Your skills are very strong and your English is getting stronger. So it's fantastic. Well
thank you
done.
so much. Really, really good. Now, my dear friends, today we have a few notices, especially for people who are new. So, Kate, could you translate for Roman? And what's your surname? Your first name? Sarvastra. Is it Sarvastra? How would... Say again?
Svet.
Svet. Okay, well, lovely to meet you two guys. But because of the translation, it's really important that you hear this. We are going to go from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, and then we stop. We have very important rules that we take photographs, okay? But if anybody doesn't want their photograph taken, you must let us know. It's called informed consent, because we put these photographs up on YouTube, and if you say, no, my safety is at risk, or I'd rather not look like that, can you please let me know? I would hate it if anybody left feeling uncomfortable. You understand? So please let me know. At the moment, is there anybody in the room at the moment who really wants not to have their photograph taken at all? Okay. Okay. All right. Thirdly, the translation help is there. We're going to carry on working on that. Now, one of the quotes that we've used before here is very, very important to the way that we teach this. Have you heard of Maya Angelou? She says that people will forget what you say, but they will never forget the way you are made to feel. And I believe that one of the reasons why this project works is that this environment doesn't feel like a classroom, does it? It doesn't feel like a hotel concierge. It is like a club. It used to be a club for working men. And I managed to brag my way into getting it. And I said I want it to be for working men and working women. And so we have this space. But the way that we treat each other is really important. So many of the ways that we learn is not from the sage on the stage. You understand? It's like the guide by the side. And many of you, you come thinking you're a learner. Many of you are teachers. Think about it. You've got experience, you've got insight, you've got qualifications. So that's why after the training we do, we have nearly an hour of social, talking, sharing. Now some of that can be really practical stuff like how do I get my kids into school, my housing issues, lots of that. But equally, think about what we're doing tonight and continue the learning by just talking and sharing. Because that's probably better than me telling you. Okay? A little bit. That's the issue around translation. Let us know if you need the help. Now, every week we really focus on feedback. Why is feedback so important? Yeah. Come up here. What's your name? Why is feedback so important?
Because it's
Go on.
it's helping people
Yeah, to learn.
to learn us walk.
You can learn from the mistakes that you make, and somebody can give you feedback saying that's good or that's bad.
When you say bad things, you need to say sorry.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's give her a clap. Well done, darling. Come and sit down. So anyways, from the mouth of babes and children, feedback is really important. So every week we say, what is the feedback? Look at this. Last week, this was Zoriana's session. Most people said her session was really, really good. And the satisfaction of the course was great. And did the session enhance your ability to pass a job interview? Okay? Now, if it was like that, we would really have to think carefully. So every time we ask for feedback, please fill it in. I'm going to show you the code today later on. This session is how would you rate the relevancy of the topic? Again, very good. What activities and exercises engaging the interactive? Was it interactive? She used the phones, do you remember? The QR codes. And that's a really exciting way of learning. So I'm just showing you these because although we haven't got time to go through it, what we want to do is make sure that when you give us feedback, we can change the emphasis on the lesson, okay? So that's really, really good. And one of the feedbacks we had last week, was about this session. It said, what would you like this session to be involved in? Interviewing with native speakers and also interesting, tricky questions with slang. What is slang? What is slang? Non-formal language. It's even a little bit more cheeky than that, because sometimes it's a little bit provocative. Slang. It can sometimes be a bit sort of not rude, but just a little bit too informal. So we are going to do some of that work today. And in your small groups today, we did the English language practice with our volunteers just about interview questions. Was that useful? Was that helpful? Yeah. Can we show our appreciation to Kate and Rima and Steve? Kate, thank you so much for coming today. I know Stephanie's already gone, but this idea of working for an hour before we have the sessions just on learning English, we call it tea and talk, really important. Now, let's get straight into this session. Look at this. I've got the session in English and I've got the session in Ukraine. That's not Google Translate, that's Halina. Halina did this for us. But when you do a session, and you know this, it's good to say what you're going to do. It's then you do what you're going to do, and then finally you tell them what you've done. In other words, this is the structure of the lesson today. And really important to realize that this is going to be hard work today. I'm going to talk to you about soft skills, okay? And the fact that soft skills will grow your career. Then we're going to look about how do you describe soft skills? Why is this phrase soft skills relevant for a Ukraine culture? Do you have another phrase in Ukraine that you call them? Okay, some people call them life skills. Some people call them 21st century skills. Some people call them skills for success. But we're really going to talk about things that you don't get taught in school. In school and university, you learn hard skills. But today we're going to talk about soft skills. And I really do believe passionately that if you get better at soft skills, your career will grow. So this is going to be quite important. Then we're going to talk about where we learn these skills. And do you remember I said about the peer learning? You learn from each other. What are the cultural issues? And then we're going to look at one group of skills. And in the soft skills booklet we've got 6 skills in the family of speaking and listening. So we're going to look at how do we get good at sharing our story? How do we get good at using body language? How do we present ourselves? How do we describe ourselves? Do we do this in an interview? Discuss. How do we get good at public speaking? Lots of jobs include you having to speak to other people. How do we get good at being a good listener? I am not a very good listener. My wife tells me. And lots of people listen just for the chance for them to shut up and then say what they're going to say. And we have to listen for curiosity. And the advantage of being somebody from a different country means that you have to listen very hard because you're having to translate in your mind all the time. So you could be a really good listener. And then also being able to reframe, and I'll talk about that later. So these are the things we're going to look at, and then we want to think about how do we create habits to master these. So is that correct? Thank you, Helena. Now, here we are. What are soft skills? In Ukrainian, same thing. Soft skills are non-technical skills that affect how you work. They include how you collaborate with other people, teamwork. They include how flexible you are. They include how you get good at solving problems. They get good at how you manage your work. Now you might say, well, that's obvious. And a lot of this is very obvious. But the good news is that we can intentionally improve these skills. And I'll show you how to do that tonight. I really will. And the great news is it's good for your work opportunities, but it's also great for your social life. If you get better at listening to people, especially if you've got children, your children will respect you more. If you get good with teamwork and you're playing football on the pitch, you get good at being a good team player. So these skills are not only good for work, they're good for everything in the area in the life. And one way we can describe what soft skills are is to think of the opposite. What are hard skills? And hard skills, if you like, are the technical skills. They include a lot of training, and they're usually tested through a qualification, through an exam. I'm not very good at exams because I find it really hard to remember and keep knowledge in my mind. And exams are often very good at testing whether you can remember. Yeah? And lots of people don't do very well in exams. It doesn't mean they're not clever. It's just one way of testing knowledge. So hard skills, think of doing things with your hands. Think of being a surgeon. Think of a driving instructor. Think of anybody who does things technically. And they're usually what you learn from a university, sometimes after 3 or 4 years. You cannot be an architect by, like me, just talking. You have to know the skills. But some doctors who are very good with hard skills are awful doctors because they haven't got soft skills. What we call the bedside manner. And you've been to a doctor sometimes and you don't feel they're listening, or they don't feel they're empathetic. So that's why these things are really, really important. And we've got this in the booklet, which you can all have today, is that hard skills, here it is, hard skills will get you the job, soft skills will grow your career. Seriously, especially once you're in an organization, if you're good at developing teams, if you're good at problem solving, if you're good at thinking about how you solve problems, these are the skills that employers want. Just think about the jobs that you've done in your life. A lot of the way that you got the job was because the employer was recruiting for attitude and then training for skills. Attitude is what employers want. They want a positive attitude. They want people who can show up on time, who can communicate clearly, who are eager to learn. And most employers will say, I can teach them the skills that they need if I can trust them. So these are the qualities, if you like, we're going to be talking about today. Now, one of the big questions is, are these skills taught or are they caught? Now, we're not sure that this is the right term in Ukraine for caught. Some of you are going, no. Helena and I have this debate. What I'm trying to say is not like caught like a fish, but just caught, well, a little bit like a fish, but caught just by observing. But think about your children. Are they empathetic? Do they take responsibility? Are they creative? Usually they are if they have seen that in your relationships. This is why parenting is such a difficult challenge, because all the time you're trying to model things that you want your kids to do. If you want to get your kids to be responsible, give them responsibility. It might not be communicating as well as I think about it in terms of Ukraine, but if you want children to grow up taking initiative, you've got to encourage them to take initiative. So there is an element of court here, but there's also an element where some children don't get it, and some of us don't get it, and therefore we can teach each other. And the miracle tool in the toolbox of learning is feedback. And it's really hard to ask somebody, how do you think I communicate? Do you think I'm a good listener? Do you think I'm good at solving problems? Do you think I'm motivated? And one of the things that's different from having an exam is what we call mates rates. Mates, your mate, they rate you. And it's really challenging, but you can say, let me do an example. Stefana, out of 10, do you think today that I look presentable? What would you score me? Out of 10, would you say I'm a 4, a 5, a 7? What would you think? No! But she's still going to give me 2. So even that little bit of fun feedback made me feel good. Now, if it's genuine and it's instructional, so you gave me a compliment, and that's lovely. But you could say to me, Stephen, I think you're very passionate and enthusiastic, but your communication is too fast. And I get fast when I get nervous. Because I know about myself now. I'm nearly 60. Well, I'm over 60. So I've been around for some time and have my kids who are in their 20s tell me all the time what I'm like. So I do get feedback. But if it's genuine, if it's honest, and if you're looking in an open way, this is how we grow these skills. When did you last have a conversation with somebody that you know about these soft skills? One of the greatest skills that often women have more than men is empathy. The word empathy in Ukraine? The same. So how do we become more empathetic? When you don't see empathy, you can tell somebody, that's not very empathetic. And then they realize it. So these things are about a conversation. So usually they're caught through observing, through watching, but they can also be taught. And that's what we're trying to do. Because I think that a lot of people think about work and they're not talking about these aspects of the work, which is the way we communicate, the things that make us very, very human. And the reason why this is so important is with AI and machine learning, many of the jobs that we have been doing will be taken over by machines. So the things that make us special, the things that differentiate us, the things that employers want are the communication skills, the things that machines will never do. So we talk about self-management, teamwork, enterprise, problem-solving, speaking and listening, steps. Self-management, teamwork, enterprise, problem-solving, speaking, listening, steps. Now, I want to have a bit of a break, okay? We're going to have fun today, okay? Because what you learn with pleasure, you never forget. Do you remember that I said that before? Kids, you know this, don't you? You go to school and it's boring, you don't remember it. So if you can make learning fun, it'll be great. In this room, in these little boxes here, I have some Lego. You love Lego. And I want us to make a Lego duck, okay? Now, they can look any way. I have some instructions on how to make a Lego duck, but I'm not going to give it to you because we can cheat. We can make the craziest duck in the world. But when you've made your duck in groups, this is one big group here. There's one group there. Kate, take that group for your back there with Rima and everyone on the bar. You've got a couple over here. Kate, over here. Start making it. A couple over there at the back. I want to see, in a few minutes, 7 ducks. Okay? 7 ducks. You can have one here. And one at the back there. You got a duck there? You have one. Oh, you got one there? Let's do it here. Okay. For 5 minutes, just make a duck, okay? You can go around and actually take the camera around. Stand up. Make it as crazy as you want.
Crazy.
Okay?
But it's already done.
Well, let's break it up. It can be any way you like. You can make it crazy, fun, whatever. Okay. You can make it as funny and as crazy as you like. Okay. But in a moment, one of you's got to introduce it to the whole group. Okay. All right. So I want you to describe its superpower. Okay. Think about its superpower, and then think about how did it get its superpower. Okay. It could be able to look into the future. It could be anything you want. Okay. That's fantastic. That's great. Hey, so it's got eyes in the front and the back. Okay. So it has a superpower. Okay. It has a superpower.
Okay.
And you have to describe how did it get its superpower. Okay, do you understand? Well, as a joke, think about this is you have to call it a name. So say this is Susie.
Okay.
And what Susie can do is she can look forward and back, and she can tell the future.
Okay.
And she got that superpower how? Was it caught or was it taught? Okay. How's it looking? Is it fantastic?
It's like a robot.
Oh, yes, where's its eyes? Have you got some eyes?
Yes.
And I want you in a moment, when you come up, to say what its name is, okay? And what is its superpower?
Okay.
Has it got a good superpower? It can be fun, it can be walk through walls, it could be tell the future, whatever.
Okay.
And then think about how did it get that superpower?
Okay.
Okay? So in a moment, we're going to ask you to come up to the front, maybe Kate, you can do this, and introduce your duck, okay? What is its name and what is its superpower, okay? And it might be that the superpower can fly backwards or can see both sides, see behind you, eyes in the back of your head. And you have to think, how did it get that superpower? So think about, how did it get it? Was it taught? Was it magic? Was it inherited? Anything like that, okay? Where's your superpower? How are you getting on?
Yes.
Tatiana, hello.
Yes, I have two.
Oh, you have two.
She just broke.
Oh, it doesn't matter. So in a moment, you've got to come up to the front and introduce your duck, okay?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. This duck is called Quacky or whatever.
Would you mind
that's
to
fine.
tell about our team?
You can do
Alice.
our team. And
You're
Ellis,
wonderful.
you can
Thank you
say, listen to this question, okay? What is its superpower? Okay, what is its superpower?
When we make Lego,
That's your superpower. But what is this duck, imaginary duck superpower? Can he swim or she swim? Can she fly? Can she see into the future?
She's very smart, yeah?
Very smart.
and
She can
really
have brilliant ideas.
Oh, broken it.
fly.
She can fly, okay. Well, if it can fly, that's great. But maybe you should say, how did it learn to fly? Okay.
Like birds.
Yeah, birds. Okay, folks. Oh, well, you've got to come up first, okay? Right, everybody. Oh, amazing. Right. Anna, okay, everybody listening? I'm asking people to come up in a moment and say, this is their duck. What is their duck's name? And what is their duck's superpower? Okay, Anna, over to you. Quickly, girl. Tell us.
This is a smart duck because we had two pieces of ice and head became bigger. That's why it's a overthinking duck.
Yeah.
It's not a superpower.
It's
Sometimes.
not- okay, it's an overthinking duck. I've never heard that one before. Overthinking. Okay. And what
Yep.
about, how did it get that skill?
Okay, it was technically because we had big opportunity, like two pieces of ice. That's why it became big head. And the dog is very creative because it has some untypical hairstyle. And
It is wonderful. Can we give a big clap to that? Well done. Now, I want to take photographs of these ducks later, so we're going to put them here and we'll take photographs. Up front. Where's your duck? Come on, stand on the chair. Come and stand on the chair. Stand on the chair. Stand on chair. Big chair for everybody, okay? Shh, shh, shh. This is your duck.
This is my duck. My duck's name is Max.
Max. And what is Max's superpower?
Can him to jump like that.
It can lie down and fly. Give it up, girl. Well done. Thank you so much. Big jump. Fantastic. Let's put it up here. Next group over here. What's your super? It's one of you. Aina, come up here. Oh, yeah. Both of you. Come with two of them. Right. Alana and Aina, over to you.
Two ducks.
You have two ducks.
A double duck.
A double duck. Double Dutch. Double duck. I like it.
This couple of duck, one have name Victory,
Victory.
super speed in water, and other one is Heimer, super speed in flyer.
In the air.
In the air.
Flies.
I love it. So the big word for here, they are complementary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One can go in the water, one can fly. Now,
Yeah.
here's a question to you. How did they get their skills? How did they get their skills?
Which lot experience.
With a lot of experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
In life.
Did that duck,
Hard life this duck had.
did that duck nearly drown once? Okay, so they learned through experience. And your duck, how did you learn your skills?
So first of all, it had inborn ability to fly.
Yeah, it was
because
born with an ability to fly.
Yeah, because it has two wings.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it practiced a lot to improve flying skills. Yeah.
Now,
So
Finish university.
it didn't finish university.
yeah, it's certificated. No, it's a certificated duck.
Yeah, international.
So this is really, really deep, people. This duck learnt to fly despite not finishing university. That is life. And what's fun is that you're all laughing and smiling, but we're learning deep things. You learn through experience. You learn through practice. These are the words you've used. You learn through possibly making mistakes. Okay? Wonderful. Let's give it up to these two wonderful women. Here we go. Up here. Now, let's get Kate or Oksana. Oksana, look at this one. This is, ooh. Oksana?
Future, I don't know, maybe.
Okay. So let's give some love and respect. Back there.
It's either a duck from the future, from the past, we don't know. One name was, it's like simply Scrooge, but another one, so we're looking at this like big hat, yes. One eye looking into the past, another one into the future. So
Oh, that is lovely.
it reminded me like of the Roman mythology, you know, like this two-faced Janus, Dvoleki Janus. So that's the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, and endings. So this is the duck that can incorporate.
I love this because there's the philosophy here.
Yeah.
She's learned these skills because of ancient ideas, ancient texts, ancient values.
So yes, this is the person who combines their like past experience and incorporates it in the future opportunities.
I love
Like
it.
this.
I love it. Thank you. Put the duck down here. Thank you so much. One of the things that we often talk about with soft skills is this word character strengths. Character strengths. Pluto, Homer, other Greek gods, other Greek philosophers, even gods, talk about the qualities in our lives. Kindness, enthusiasm, gentleness. And again, these are more qualities. They can still be shown in skills, but they're qualities. Who else hasn't had a shed? Come on up here. This is great. Tell us a little bit about your duck and what is your duck superpower?
We call our duck, it's Lady Lego.
Lady Lego.
Yes.
Oh, you've done the course.
Yes, his superpower is flight for long distance and teleportation in the time.
Transportation.
Teleportation.
What, through time?
Through time, yeah.
Backward and forward?
Back and forth.
Yeah.
And as well, it's he's traveling in time. So she have got a lot of experience from past and from futures.
Again, really, really deep. This little Lady Luck, Lady Duck?
Lady Lego.
Lady Lego, sorry. Lady Lego. I do try and practice, you know that. Lady Luck has learnt her experience from the past again.
From the past, yeah.
Again.
And you can use in the future.
Now, we are talking, we're having fun, but you're learning. I tell you what, you're learning lots on this. So thank you so much. Well done. But Kate, bring your up here, Kate. Let's have a look. This is a group who've only communicated in Ukrainian tonight because we don't have a lot of English over here. But Kate, come and give your... Wow, look at that. You've got some more Lego. There's more than that in that pot. Was that everything in your pot?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So hold it up really high.
Okay, so that's Lucky. Her name is Lucky, but it's not just one duck. We have a duck transformer, so it can be one big duck or it can be two ducks.
Like that. That's original.
And this big duck can breathe fire.
Can breathe fire?
Yes.
Here's a bit of fire that just come out of her. Okay.
It was a short presentation of fire
Fantastic.
coming away.
Now, when did it learn to transform itself? How?
It just happened. It don't remember, you know. It was born in some special way, and some part of memories was gone. Maybe there was some accident, but it can't remember what's happened.
I believe you. I believe you. What, Kate? That's fantastic. Look, but just look at the artistry there. Isn't that beautiful? And I love the fact that it can transform. Well done.
It's not yet all.
Oh no! Okay, hold the stage, girl.
When it flies, it have rainbow from behind.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. So it's a duck of hope.
And it have also 6 eyes, so it can see everything.
That's worth a clap. Come on, that's a really good one. And one of the lovely things is she says this rainbow. Some people have the skill of being able to make people feel hopeful. A rainbow is a sign of hope, isn't it? That it's going to stop raining. What a lovely, lovely metaphor. Thank you so, so much. Well done, Kate. Right, next one. Just one more. I think there's one at the back. Is there one more at the back? Yes, come on. Olana, you're really keen to do these things. This is great. Olana, introduce your duck. And what is its superpower? All yours.
Our duck name Posy.
Big loud voice. Do what you say.
Posy. Da. Yes.
Helena. Okay, there we go.
Our duck name is Posy.
The duck
Posy,
name?
Posy.
Posy.
Because she create, sorry, my English, positive. Everybody happy near her. Because she positive ducks.
That's quite like you, I think. You have your English is learning, but you have such a positive smile, a positive feeling. What a lovely thing to offer us. That some of the way that we interact with people, we can be positive. I was listening to a man on the radio the other day, somebody I grew up with, a guy called Chris Anderson. He runs TED. And he said one of the most important things you can give to people is your time and listening and being positive. And this is bad for me because I'm such a rusher. Things to do, people to help. But I am starting to slow down and just say, I'm listening to you right now. You have my 100% attention. And employers need those sort of people because it comes across as somebody who's quite deep and thinking and able to just be themselves and not prove all the time. So, Olana, I think this is a lovely posy duck. Let's give us a respect. Thank you so much. Well done. Now, we've got another little girl who's just dying to say something. Can we give you another chance? Come up here again. This is your other duck here. Maybe just to ask people in the back to be a little bit quieter because it's quite hard to concentrate in here. Here we go.
My ducks.
Ducks, yeah.
Ducks. Okay. This name is Max.
Max?
This one name is Ron.
Ron. Max and Ron. Are they brothers and sisters? Are they friends? Do they fight each other?
Friends.
They're friends. Isn't that lovely?
Yes. This one can't faster run.
It's quite slow.
Faster.
It can run fast?
Yes.
And what about this one?
This one can hide to the moon.
This duck can go to the moon. That's a fantastic skill. Well done, girl. Thank you so much. Right, let's leave that. Now look at the screen a second. When we talk about a character like Lego, and we talk about something abstract, it's quite a good exercise because it's making it very informal and very fun. But even in this exercise today, if I'd got somebody to write all the words you've used, we'd learn a lot. Some people were born with these powers. Some people learnt these powers. Some people learnt it through mistakes. Some people learnt it through historical reference and reflections. And I think that increasingly, when we look at working in a team, like you've been working in teams, some of you I was watching took a little bit more control. Others of you were watching what they were doing, but you were all working really well on a task that was fun, that had no rules. Actually, it had very few rules. What would happen if I'd given this team just 3 pieces and this team 7 pieces? Interesting. Life isn't fair. But you had the initiative to do whatever you had with your pieces. A couple of other points is that that's the less pieces. This is another question that's interesting. What would happen if you put all the pieces together and made a super duck? Well, over the time at the afterwards with the bar, let's get the little kids to make a super duck. In other words, we bring pieces together, we bring our ideas together, and we need to have fun. And I think a lot of people in teams have what they call sharp elbows. It's all about me, you know? But in work, if you can say to an employer in an interview, I'm a really good team player. Say it, team player. I'm a really good team player. And they will say, well, how? Show me an example. And you can tell them examples. Sometimes it's in a non-work environment. What is it? When you share, absolutely. If you're a good team player, you're a good sharer. Okay, what I think that we should move on to do is, again, how do we learn these skills? And that's what we're talking about today. I think we often learn them by observing and watching, asking for feedback, thinking about whether we inherited them from our parents. Yeah, lots of things to think about. Now, one of the things that's really important is Benjamin Franklin. He is on the $100 bill, on the back of the American dollar bill. And he said this, tell me, and I forget. That's my life. I don't remember things. Teach me, and I may remember. But involve me, and I learn. And some of you are taking cameras out because you're saying this is so simple, isn't it? It really is a very, very great truth. And so even if your English isn't very good, you can learn these skills by trying, getting feedback, and asking, can I have an exercise, or can I do something with somebody else that will help me sharpen these skills? The other thing is that you can learn these skills in a whole range of environments. This is in Ukrainian, so let me see if I can remember what they say. When I'm using social media, and lots of parents are a bit sniffy with kids, but the skills that they have to multitask, to communicate, to understand what's reliable information, these are incredible skills kids are learning. When you overcame a problem, when you supported a friend, when you're exploring, when you're having fun, when you're traveling. My mother is 96. I went to see her last night because my father died 3 weeks ago and we buried him last week. So I'm going to see her a lot. and I tucked her up into bed, like she would have done with me 60 years ago. And she started crying. It's hard for a 96-year-old to cry. And I was really learning the qualities and the values that I had as a child by me now doing that to my mother. I'm a bit emotional talking about it. But it's important, isn't it? We learn through our elders, through our parents. When did you last tell them, I'm really glad you showed me that, you demonstrated that? Really, really important to do that. So all this stuff is in this book that we've got for you, and we're beginning to translate the whole of the book into Ukraine. And I've got a vision to get this book into every school in Ukraine. And the reason why I think it's so exciting is it has been co-designed with Helena and these groups that we've been working with. And it's a really good gift to give to a country that needs to rebuild itself and will need to have a lot of these skills, which are really enterprise skills. Could I just say a little bit, just because it's quite hard for me to talk at the front if lots of people are talking in the back. I know that some of you are translating, which is absolutely fine. But just to say sensitively, it's quite hard for me to hear if people are talking all the time, okay? Now, we've got another exercise that is involved in something called DOTocracy. Very odd word. These are dots, okay? These are little stickers, and they're dots. And I now want you to judge, what do you think are the most important soft skills? In a group, you've only got 12 dots. And if you think this first one, which is an ability to work in a team, is the most important one, put all 12 there. If you think that being enterprise and being able to willing to take risks is important, put a couple. You know the things. And there's no right or wrong answer on here. But I want you to really think about, how do you prioritize these skills? It is quite subjective. Some people would say things are important for them, maybe because they don't have those qualities yet. Other people have seen those people get on in life because, for example, they've got drive and determination. Now, the reason why this is also important is I've got these in Ukrainian as well. And again, in terms of talking about the language for the workplace, these are words that are so valuable. This word determination, what does it mean? What does determination mean in Ukraine? Helena, is there a definition for determination? What is it? Promovist. Could you help me and pass these out? Okay, that's the Ukrainian version, and these are the English versions. If you need a Ukrainian version, get one from Helena. If you need an English version, here we are. Take these actually, Anna, can you pass them around? And I'm going to give each table just 12 of these dots. In your teams, think about these skills and help me prioritize the ones that you think are really important, okay? Do one per group. One per group. this one, able to take initiative. Find a way of saying it in Ukrainian. You know, just think about what is initiative for you in Ukraine. You know, is it the same word? Is it different? Is it deeper in its meaning? Okay, so you choose one, but have a chance to say something in a moment, okay? What are we doing here? Look at this. Okay, in Ukrainian, and okay, that's fine. So in a moment, one person comes up and says what is really important here. Now, they're all important. Which one do you think is the best?
For me, it's really important. Just a moment.
Let me find out which is the English one. Number 5.
Will be creative.
Able to. Okay. So Kate, come up in a moment and do the translation if you need to. Why is taking initiative so important? Okay, in a moment. In a moment, why is this one so important for you? Okay. So in a moment, can one of you come up and say what you think is the most important one? Now, we know that they're all important.
Yes.
And it's just an exercise to think, actually, what are these words we're using? This word prioritize, really important. Changing situations, this is the flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a moment, can one of you come up and say what you think is the best one? Okay. Okay, folks, I'm sure that you guessed by now, okay, that they're all important, okay? So just let's finish our conversations a second. You all understand they're all important, but I want somebody from each of the groups to come up and talk about why one of them, for you, is really important, okay? Anna, do you want to have somebody from your group first? Do you want one person from your group? Who wants to do it? Anna, come and do it.
We're not ready.
You're not ready?
Yeah,
No, okay, one more second. What about, have you got one that you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Who wants to do it? Anna, come up here. Come up here. Yeah. Okay, so if you're carrying on thinking about your contribution, that's fine, but let's try and be really quiet. You know that all of these skills are important, but Aina, what do you think for your group was really, really important?
I think that the most important item is ability to stay motivated and keep going. And it also implies that if you keep going and something, and you fail, and you still keep going, and you think what you change to improve, to get your goal, to achieve something, then you will, one day you will surely be employable.
This is so special for me because the things that you've had to travel through in your journey to come to the UK, it has been so important for you to keep going. And this idea of to stay motivated, to learn English. I mean, I really commend you. It's so hard to learn another language. I told you, didn't I, a couple of weeks ago, that there's a friend of mine in Spain, and he says when he comes here, he feels not very clever because he finds it hard to speak English. But really, he says, I am cleverer than they are in my own language. And you're cleverer than many of us in your own language. But this wonderful thing, staying motivated and keep going, what's the common word for that? Begins with R. Resilient. Resilient. And that's similar language in Ukraine, resilient?
Resilient. Стійкість.
Стійкість. Стійкість. And if you were able to say to an employer, I'm a very resilient person. I know things go wrong at work. I'm not going to give up. My whole life has been about not giving up. It's a really important quality. Can you see why these skills are superpowers? And I know that it's hard for me to say this because I haven't been through what you've done, but you are resilient people. You are resilient survivors. Yeah? So that's a really good word to use. Thank you so much, Ina. Really, really good. Now, Kate, from your group, would you like to bring one of your Ukrainian colleagues with you? Come up here, Dave. Come. Yep, you'll be fine. Come. Let's give a special welcome to this group because this is the first time they've been here and English is challenging. But well done. Lydia?
I learn English.
You learn English. So of all the ones that you've decided, which one was the most important for you?
For me, it's important for team will be creative.
A team will be creative.
Yes.
Why was that important?
Because it helps team of company will be better.
Will be better than competitors.
Oh, okay. So in a corporate environment, if you're creative, you'll beat the competition.
Вирішувати проблеми в компанії.
To solve the problems in company.
And being able to solve problems. Again, if you can say to an employer, I think I'm a very creative person. What do you mean? Well, I can think laterally. I can think outside the box. I can think in a different way. That is an incredible skill and a quality. Now, you can easily say it, but can you do it? So they might say, well, give me an example of how you've shown creativity in work. Have you got any experience of being creative in a workplace?
Maybe yes, but I don't understand. Oh, I don't remember.
No.
To say
And it's hard to put you on the spot, but this is the thing that we can help you with to practice. If that question came up, you can say, oh, I remember being creative. We had a problem with one of our photocopiers. It kept breaking down. I suddenly realized that the office next door had a photocopier. I was able to go over there, get all the photocopying done for this conference. I came back, and do you know what? They didn't charge us. So just taking initiative, showing creativity, showing resilience, that you didn't give up. Now, these are the things that you can learn to say.
Maybe for me is, скажи, що можливо для мене це є важливим, бо я працювала в інституті проєктування, і ми там всі були креативні.
Should I translate to English because everyone understood? Should I translate to English because everyone understood?
Oh, okay, fine. She could translate it for me, but I don't mind. Listen, let's give some love. Thank you so much. Well done. When we like to say well done, we wave because clapping is so noisy. And if you work with the deaf community, that's how they clap. It's just lovely. When I do that, I just feel, ooh. Now, Anna, from your table, Stefani, who's going to come into your group here? One of you. Alona? No? Olena? Stefana? Okay, well, again, even this idea of standing up and speaking is about public speaking. You should be so proud of yourself. You're doing it in a different language with an idiot like me going, yeah? Anna, come up here. What is the skill that you think from your group was the most important?
In our group, it was very difficult because, like always list of skills is very important, and we felt that it's not enough of dots because you want to prioritize a lot of things. Ideally, we select 7, half of them as more important than other, and 3/4 of them more with even higher level of prioritization. But if we speak about main 4 which we selected, it's ability to work in a team, have drive and determination, able to be flexible and adaptable to changing situations, and being able to be resilient. We tried to find why we selected these ones because, everyone of us is Ukrainian, and we have really changing situations. That's why to be flexible and to be able to teach each other, to develop and improve our English, it's really important for us now, as it's our ability to continue our paths and, to be strong inside. same after war started, we need to be very resilient, and it's really important because you can be broken, as now I received messages that Odessa could be under pressure from Pridnestrovia as well, and but you need to continue, and it's about being able to be resilient. And same without drive and determination, you will be just silly, like an annoying person, and who needs you. Yes, you could be sometimes, but you need to find your strong ability to develop yourself, to continue, and to just join your teammates.
Well, listen, let's give some respect there. Again, all of you could take this home, okay, with the Ukraine version and just practice saying things like this. I think I've got a really good drive and determination to succeed. It mustn't be too corny. You must be able to say and how, but find a way to illustrate that. Interviews come alive when people remember the story. So sometimes they say, well, can you give me an example of how you showed determination? Well, it doesn't have to be in a work context. You can say, I showed determination because I got my family out of Kyiv 3 hours before the tanks came. I was determined to get in that taxi. I had the drive, literally to drive the car, but I had that ability to see what was happening, and that motivated me. And I think these things are really important to be able to articulate and say, because we often dry up an interview. Don't know what to say. These are almost cue cards for you to say all these skills. And of course, all of them are important, but these are some things that you can learn. Is there one other group who wants to share back tonight? Do you want to share one of the ones you had? Natalia. Again, Natalia, can I just really compliment you? You came this afternoon at 2 o'clock. She came here quietly doing work. You had somebody looking at your CV. You're doing great. And can I tell them the news earlier or not? Yes. So she lost her job this week.
It's not a problem.
I know. Well, look at that. It's not a problem because the person who was employing her was technically, I think, abusing her. Abuse, wrong word, exploiting. And because she wouldn't clean more in the same hours, it was too much. She couldn't do it. And he said, you're a bad cleaner. No, she's not. She's a great cleaner. He had a bad attitude, yeah? And she came and said, it's not a problem. There's going to be something better. That shows determination. Give her some love. Honestly, that is so important. Because what we want for you is not just any job. We want the right jobs. Helena, where are you? Helena was working in a hotel when you first came. You had to. Because the kids will need food. I know you did. We've all done the hotel bit. But then she said, that's not going to help me with my career. And I think you are worth thinking about the right job. That's why Farzana is thinking about you getting jobs in the corporates, in worlds where you could actually grow your career. So enough about that. But Natalia.
Sad only one day.
You were sad. Oh, isn't that she was sad only one day. What is the one that you felt was important? Listen out, guys.
For our teams, the most important, if you don't work alone, ability to work in the team.
Yeah.
You can be good worker, you can good communicate with other people, but if you can't work with other people, your knowledge not good.
Have you got an example
Yes.
where you go on? Let's pretend to interview.
Yes, it's
so you want this job, Natalia? Can you give me an example where you worked well in a team?
I have experience working team more than 20 years. I always work in team. And for example, when I started work in laboratory, some people don't work together with you. Sometimes you need to, sometimes you have task and you need to do this work for some times. And if you have a lot, another people could help you, because another people wait for this result, for your process need to not stop.
What is the word that you use when you ask other people in a team to take more responsibility? What do you do as a manager? You delegate. Again, So how do you work well in a team? I'm good at delegating. I'm good at being able to ask somebody else to lead on something. That's what you were saying, I think.
I work in big Ukrainian company, and when you need to answer your result, people wait for this.
Yeah.
And it's time, it's money of company, it's salary of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if you work in team, you're responsible for another people.
Yeah.
You need to understand this, and it's very important for big company. It's not maybe it's not important if you work alone. If you have some time for this task.
Yeah.
If you done this, it's good. You send result. But if a lot of people wait for you, it's very important to ability working team.
Well, listen, that's really, really, really good. Guys, honestly. And also, Natalia, there are very, very few jobs where you don't work in a team. Even if you work on your own, you're working with customers. You're working with suppliers. You're working with people who are doing your technology. Honestly, it may be not every day you're working in a team, but you have to be able to work communicating. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you so much. Really, really special tonight, especially through what you've been through. Is there anybody else who wants to share? Okay, well, look, use those cue sheets. Now, we are going to have some fun, okay? One of the things about communicating is body language, okay? Anna, come up to the front here. Sorry, Kate, come up to the front here. Sorry, Kate. We need a little table. We'll just do it on two chairs. Can we just have two chairs? So Kate and I have been doing some drama practice. This session today, if you're a teacher, you will see I'm using very different types of media. We've used paper, we've used Lego, we've had a bit of fun, we're laughing, and now we're going to do drama. We're going to show you 3 scenarios, okay? And after we've done it, here it is, it's called role play time. Da-da! And after the drama, you've got to get your phone out. And if Zoriana can do it, I'm going to do it with Helena's case. And we're going to ask you to judge our drama. And we're going to tell you, I don't know if we're going to tell you what we were trying to show, but here we go. This is the first one. Let me just remind you what it is. All right, here we go. So I'm the employer, and Kate's going to come in. And she knocks on the door. Come in.
Hi, I'm Kate.
Oh, hello, Kate. Yeah.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Come and take a seat. So, Kate, my name is Steve, and I'm the chief executive here. And we have a policy here in the company that when we have an interview, I have 5 minutes with everybody before you go down to HR down the road. So, Kate, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm a CEO and founder of company.
You're a what?
I'm a CEO and founder of the company.
So why are you applying for this job as office manager?
It was in Ukraine. Now I had to move to another country.
Okay. But
I have a very great set of skills. I have so great experience, and I'm sure I will rock your company.
Oh, well, okay. That's great to hear. When you say rock my company and do such a great job, can you give me an experience or an example where you have transformed a company, or as you say, rocked another part of work?
Well, we started from 0 workers, and then it was me who found the company. And then we become bigger and bigger, and one day we got like 100 people working for us. And we went for some great conferences. I was a speaker on the biggest conference for game development in Ukraine.
Well, doesn't it strike me that if you've got that experience and you've got that confidence...
Oh, you have so beautiful shirt.
Yeah, thank you. But would you not think that you'd be better just set up your own company now in the UK? I don't know that you could work in a company like with us where people who are more junior to your experience, surely.
It's very interesting for me, and it's like self-development opportunity, and I really would like to work for your company. It sounds so amazing for me, what are you doing? And I really want to join, and I want to improve what are you currently doing.
Okay, let me think about it. I think you've got lots of skills to share, but I don't know if this is the right job for you. But look, let me...
I'm sure it is.
You're sure it is? Okay, well, look, why don't we go down to HR and have a little talk where you'll look at your experiences, and thank you for coming in to see me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow at work. She thinks she's got the job. Wow. Okay, get your phones out. Phones up, phones up, phones up. Get your phones up. Scan in the code. Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback. Oh. Now, I then need to go to this one and click on here, and hopefully we will see the results. Oh, this is very interesting. So here we go. Yeah. Sorry, I've just got to... Yeah, just 1 second. Sorry, Helena, can you help me, love? How do I get... I need to get out of the presentation, which is... gosh, I always do this wrong. I've got to see it there. It's on there. It's not going to come out of this presentation. So here we go. So here we go. These are the words that are coming up. Can you see them? So, what are the words you're saying? Too pretentious employee? Unprofessional? Touching. There was a lot of touching. Friendly, hugging, pushing, and what? Kisses. I didn't have that. Wasn't going to go there.
Like you won't find work, not she.
Yeah. Okay, so listen, isn't this lovely? Look at you, look at that. You're doing your QR codes. These things have come up, and to be fair, I think we're saying that it was over the top. It was too confident. What was the body language like? Yeah, now, this is exaggerated, and nobody does that unless they're a fool. But just keep the shape. When you're interviewed, I'm sure Farzana will say this as well, have your hands together. It's a really good discipline. That's not to say that you can't be expressive and share, but people remember this. It comes across as a little bit crazy. So just watch that body language. It was a bit too hugging. It wasn't appropriate, even if it's in a different culture, to do that. You don't know me. You know, work is a very important part to keep the shape. And it was too informal. And she was too arrogant. She was arrogant in what she said, but also in her body language. Okay? But it's only a role play. So let's give her some claps. Okay? Next one. Let's do this next one. The next one, here it is. Next one, here we go. I want to touch that. Okay. Here's the phone. Which is this one? Let me just check. Yeah, okay. Come in. Yeah, yes, come this way, please. Come this way. What's your name?
Kate.
Sorry?
It's Kate.
Kate. Come on, Kate. Yeah. Thank you. Come and sit down. So, Kate, I understand from your CV that you're looking at this office manager job. Just tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kate.
That's right.
I'm from Ukraine, and I want this job which you're promoting.
I'm glad you want this job, and I'm glad you've come. We've got 60 people that are applying for 3 jobs within our firm. Just to be clear, what is it about you that could impress me about your experience, about your values, about you as Kate, that I want to hear?
I I've worked in a similar position back in my country.
Right.
And my coworkers and my boss, they told me that I was great in what I was doing.
Great. Can you give me an example of how you were great in what you were doing?
I was doing office manager job.
Right.
And I was managing the office
Yeah.
tasks. I was taking some calls and I was helping in organizing events.
Yeah.
And I helped HR department
Right.
when they needed my help.
Can you give me an example where you did something that was really very well recognized by your company? Well, don't worry. Maybe you could mention that to the human resources team next door when they come. Thank you for coming in to see me. All I do is have 5 minutes with everybody who's come in here. So thank you very much, Kate. Welcome to this day of interviews. I wish you all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That way. That way. Bye-bye. Okay, D-roll. It's only a game. But did you not... Well, let me ask you to tell you what you think. What did you think? What did you think about that? Especially not what she said, but how it came across visually. We're talking about body language. Okay, just write your thoughts, words of feedback. Oh, this is the last one, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry. This is the last one. Let me go back to that. Never work with technology. Here we go. Second one. Here it is. Click on that. Here it goes. Second role play. Quiet, hesitation, very worried. Now, that's a phrase. That's a phrase. A closed poise. Too quiet a voice, absolutely. Shyness. Too modest. Too modest. Submissive. Unsure, not confident. Tremble. Now, listen, this is an exaggeration. Everybody can get nervous in an interview. Helena, tell us about your experience of being interviewed by me. What happened? You can do it in Ukraine. Just do it in Ukraine. Just tell them for 10 minutes. For 5 minutes.
Ну, перше наше інтерв'ю відбулося 1,5 роки тому. Я значно гірше знала англійську мову, і все вийшло досить непогано, хвилин 5-10 перших. А згодом я почала губитися, і коли Стівен запитав мене, чи є в мене запитання до компанії, ну, тобто він задав всі свої питання, я, що змогла, відповіла, а потім він питає мене, чи є в мене запитання. До кінця, на цей момент в мене було одне єдине питання, як я можу звідси втікти. Бо, ну, занадто важко, чесно кажучи, проходити інтерв'ю. І це було моє перше інтерв'ю, в принципі, яке я проходила в Британії. Чи, можливо, проблема для українців, що у нас не так часто ми ходимо на співбесіди. Наприклад, в моєму житті, може, 1-2 співбесіди було, і то дуже-дуже давно. От, тому це, направду, дуже важкий досвід і виклик. Але в мене був другий шанс, і я...
I know what she said. Because she said it a number of times. If I'm right, she was very nervous. She couldn't get out of the interview quick enough. She wanted to go home quick. And yet I could see something in that smile, that face, that experience.
Yeah, body language.
And, well, now you should see her earlier. So listen, we've got to find for you, that's why Farzana's work is really important, are employers who get qualities and actually recognize there's people who can grow their skills. Now, you're going to get knockbacks. A lovely woman called Vera, who was on our first call, she said to me, Steve, I go for interviews just to get a bit of experience. I go in thinking I'm not going to get this job. Not that they tell them that, but I don't care about the knockbacks, because every time I'm doing an interview, I'm learning. I'm realizing that stupid question is always going to come up. Honestly, tell me about yourself. What a stupid question. Which bit do you want? You know? But they ask you that because they're actually more nervous than you sometimes. So look, these are things that you just need to see. Remember Kate's experience where she was looking up. But we won't do that. And one of the things that we can do here with you is if you've got an interview coming, we will do interview practice with you. I'll film you on a phone. I'll show it back to you afterwards. Give you some honest feedback. Remember, feedback is the thing that helps us grow. Anna, you want to say something?
I want to say one interesting moment that when we are going to interview, we want to be better, we want to be suitable for them, підходящими. But very important thing, that we should be ourselves and honest with ourselves, because when you lie to yourself, you lie to other person, and you really need maybe this job, but you don't want. And I know that it can bring you only to burnout. You will be only lost, you will feel not comfortable, even you will receive it. That's why it's very interesting to find the border between your soul, your needs, and in between, like golden line, what you can do and how you can do. Because, I'm manifesting this, I don't want to lie. And I'm telling on interview, guys, I can do this, this, and this. I'm not gonna make me so suitable to you. I want to be myself. I can do this. If you need it, we will work. If no, no.
Isn't that lovely? Now, the person that we did interview was Mariana, who was a lawyer, and she was so cool. I was intimidated by her. And when I said, do you want this job? She said, yes, I think so. Not like, yes, please, I'm desperate. And then I said, okay, we've got Helena, who we'd like to employ as well. If we gave you this job, could you support and work with Helena? If she'd said no, she wouldn't have got the job. Because I didn't need that then. I could have the confidence, but I wanted her skills. And she said yes. And that's the story of our Ukraine project. And all of this is a success down to Helena. Helena, that's you, girl. Yeah? Now, do we want one more drama? Go, yeah, thank you. Right, here we go. Kate, what is this last one? I know what it is. You remember? Okay. Come in. Oh, you okay? I'm Stephen.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Come and sit down, Kate. So I understand you're applying for this job as an...
I really want this job.
Yes, I was just saying that I understand you want this job for the office manager. Is that right?
Yes.
Because we're interviewing 3 different jobs today. So it's the office manager. Okay, yeah. And Kate, what's your experience in being an office manager?
I have so much experience, actually. I did work on this position before in my country.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. I did work in this position.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of experience. I did some very great things in my company.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about maybe an example where you did some great things in your company. How did it affect the bottom line?
Can you please say one more time?
Well, how did it affect what I call the bottom line, which is our profit? How did you make a difference to the company if you say you're so excellent?
Oh, well, I helped my company to grow for 30% income per year.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
And what was the team like? Did you work in a good team on that?
Yeah, the team was very great.
Okay. Well, look, I'm looking at everybody for 5 minutes, and then you'll have a more in-depth conversation with...
I'm happy to talk to your HR too.
Yes, that's what I just said. You'll talk to them now, and they'll go through your CV. But thank you for coming in to see me. I want to see everybody who's being interviewed today, and I've certainly got a good impression of you. Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's get the third one up. Let's get this one up. On your phones, feedback. What did you think of Kate's third project. You want to go? Do you want to take a bit of Lego with you? You can take your little, just your little one. Just that one there, okay? There you are, take it. Can say goodbye to everybody? Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. We need to go to bed.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, she's learned a lot, hasn't she? It's great, and we've learned a lot from her. Thank you. Right, let's look at the website. Okay, here we go. Let's see the answers. Inattentive, absolutely. Not focused. Not a good listener. When you get nervous, you stop listening. Sometimes you really can stop listening. It's okay to say, just could you say that again? My English is not brilliant at the moment. You know, being a bit more composed. Loose, rude, touching the... Absolutely, you just don't want your phone anywhere. She started touching my Lego. That's a no-no, girl. You don't touch my Lego. Who are you? Now, okay, look, we're having fun and we can see. It's exaggerated. What's that?
I'm a serious manager.
I'm a serious manager. Don't touch my Lego. Not focused, not a good listener, confident. She also started talking. She was interrupting. Yeah. And sometimes when you're nervous. Now, I want to say something very sensitive here because I have a neurodiversity. I'm a little bit neurodiverse. I'm sure you could tell that before I said it. I have a little bit of what's called ADHD. I'm hyperactive. I can build Rome in a day. I can do lots of big things. And sometimes my style can conflict with other people. That's okay. Now, obviously, in this situation, I need my energy. I need my passion. I'm trying to communicate to you. Sometimes I try too hard. In an interview, I've got to be much calmer. And so again, it doesn't matter if you're an extrovert or an introvert. You've got to sell yourself, and you've got to sell you as a person. Anna's absolutely right. Be authentic. Trust yourself. But things like body language make a lot of difference. If any of you are going for an interview and you need to really dress to impress, come and let us know. We'll find you some good gear. We will. We'll ask you to share the best gear you've all got. Honestly, why not? There's a charity called Dress to Impress. We can ask them to bring us some designer fashion stuff. Yes.
I know two organizations for females.
Yep.
Dress for Success.
Yeah.
Another one is SmartWorks.
SmartWorks.
Just for one of them, you must be referred, but for another one, you can refer yourself.
Yep.
SmartWorks will give you clothes, and they will also practice interview with you
Yep.
and help you with your CV. Dress for Success will give you some nice clothes. And they will also have some chat with you about your opportunities. So.
Well, listen, that's wonderful. And what they can do, we can do as well. This is why every week we say come from 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. If you're coming all this way, come for the afternoon. Like today we had somebody helping on CVs. We'll do interview practice next week. This is your place, okay? And this is not just a course that gets you a job. It may not get you a job. We don't promise a job. What we promise you is to be with you on the journey. And it can take time, but you can help each other. Now, this is an important question because I want to also make sure that we are culturally sensitive. And when I spoke to Kate today, are there things that in the Ukraine culture you wouldn't do or you would do that's different from England? And Kate, I think I'm right in saying that actually in those interview practices, that was very common in an experience in Ukraine as well. You'd have an interview where you have to sell yourself. There are differences in CVs. We tend not to put photographs on CVs. Some of the people that we were looking with today had photographs. So there's some things that would just be more culturally sensitive or culturally appropriate over here. But if there are things that you say, no, Stephen, you're pretending that everybody's the same, tell me. This has to be your course, and we have to say what is it appropriate that in Ukraine that does translate here, and some things that don't. Now, one of the things you've told me so many times is that Ukrainians, by and large, don't do small talk. And it's fascinating. And I know what some of the reasons, because historically, if you put your head above the parapet and talk to people, you know, you don't know who you're talking to. There's a state, you know. And so that's ingrained in you. But I think one of the things you have to learn to do is talk to people at the reception desk. They'll come in and they'll usually say, how are you doing? You okay? Do you want a cup of coffee? Have you got your umbrella? Let me hang your umbrella up for you. It's wet out there, isn't it? And that's just small talk. But I tell you what, sometimes bosses ask the receptionists to give them some feedback because the first impressions are incredibly important. As soon as you go into that office, you're on display. And I've actually interviewed people, and I've had people who are just pretending to be in the office at the time, but I'm asking them sensitively to give me some feedback. Do you think that person was listening well? Do you think that person came in well? Were they on time? Now, small talk is important, because you can say to people, yeah, it's raining cats and dogs outside, but listen, I'm here. Do I look smart? You know, just a little bit of banter. We call it banter. Now, if you're not used to doing that, we'll have some great role play. And it might seem a bit odd and a bit funny, but it's just a proxy. A proxy means a shape that takes the place of an activity. It's a proxy for friendliness. Just recognizing our humanity. And the next time you're at the bus stop and somebody says, yeah, it's not very nice weather today, just join in. You never know what that person is interested in. Most people actually have jobs that aren't advertised. They're looking for people because there's a crisis. They haven't got the money to advertise. 80% of jobs are not advertised. It's shocking. Not very fair, is it? So these things, when you have small talk, you make connections, and connections give you opportunities. Now look, it's only 10 minutes left, and I promise you we always finish at 9 o'clock. We have had such fun today. We've only just touched the surface of these interpersonal communication skills. It's about listening. It's about teamwork. It's about body language. Okay? You never get a second chance to make a first impression. What I've got for you in this book that we're going to give you, this is a book that we've written. Helena's helped us, and we've now translated it into Ukrainian. Okay? And this book looks at these families of skills. Here's teamwork. Here's problem solving. The blue is problem solving. This one's fascinating. Taking enterprise skills. Are you good at taking initiative, at staying motivated, at managing risks, at leading others? Listen to this one. Embracing ambiguity. Ambiguity? That's a big word. What's the Ukraine version for ambiguity? Not unknowable. Things are not knowable. Donald Rumsfeld talks about the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns. It's a riddle, but it's actually true. There are so many things we don't know. And sometimes it's okay to say, I don't know what the future holds, but I'm resilient, and I'm adaptable, and I'm flexible, and I want to work with this company because I think you're brave to go into the unknown. It's a corny thing. But these things are really important. So my last task tonight is begin to think about one set of skills. This is all about speaking and listening. Okay? How do you get good at communication skills? Now, in this example, if it was you, and it was like this one, sharing your story, if I wasn't very good at sharing my story, I would give myself 4 out of 8. Okay? This is called self-assessment. It's the only way you can assess this. You can't do an exam in this. It's too subjective. But just because you can't test the knowledge and check the knowledge doesn't mean to say it's not worth you learning it and asking other people to say this. And what you can do is just think about one cohort, one thing that will make you better. So in terms of sharing your story, the biggest thing you can do is start sharing a story, getting feedback. Pretend you're in a lift with somebody, and in 2 minutes, can you tell something about your story that's memorable? When I meet somebody, I always try to say, especially if they're from a different country, oh, I was born in India. I think, really? You don't look Indian. No, I'm not. Or my father was Welsh. Borodar, Shudigo Heddi. Diane Giles, are you Welsh? That's a little bit of Welsh. It's the only little bit I know. But it's always a great conversation starter. Now, this may sound corny, and it appeals to me because I'm an extrovert. I'm a bit of a show-off. I'm a bit of, I know what I'm like. So I'm not saying you have to be like me, but you have to be able to tell your story. If any of you meet somebody do tell them you're from Ukraine. Most people will say, gosh, how are you getting on? And if they don't, just let them go, because they're probably racist or they've probably got ideas of migrants. But most people, if you look at that, will say, I'm from Ukraine, I've been here 2 years, I'm here with my family, and I've made a start, and I'm looking for a job. And that's your story. And you can own it and have enormous power in that, I believe. Now, if I'm wrong, tell me. I don't want to be pompous about this. But these are the things. So what I want you to do in the last few minutes of this is that each of you can have one of these, okay? And you can start by looking at one chapter. I want you to look at the last chapter, which is the chapter on speaking and listening, okay? And you can all start shading in. Helena, could you get some more from the shelf there so everybody has one? Could you begin to look? This is the one, it's the orange one, okay? We're going to look at the orange one together, okay? And choose one that you really want to think about, okay? And start shading it in as to how you feel you are at the moment, okay? And then, if you've done the sharing the story, the next few pages, you'll find the exercise, here it is, on sharing your story. And it gives you some exercises, and it gives you practice. And we have translated this into Ukrainian. So, for those of you who only speak Ukraine, Kate, you can look at that one together and start filling it in. And I want to leave this as an exercise for the next 10 minutes. I'm not going to speak for 10 minutes. Just, you can have some nice coloured pens. You can just look at this chapter. All the other chapters you can look at, or we might do another chapter another week. But start thinking about how can you do one small thing that will grow this skill. Okay? 10 minutes, okay? On your own. Let's choose one. What are you interested in? So maybe these are things. This is actually correct. Speech change. But say this one here, being a good listener. How good are you doing at listening? Very good. So give it maybe. This is 6 out of 8. Alright, so get to there, okay? And then look at the chapter on being a good listener. Being a good listener. Now, look at this and read this and tick it in. And then once you've done it, at the end, you can say, oh, I'm still a very good listener. In fact, I'm actually better. Or maybe I'm not as good. Yes, yes. Can you understand? Have a go. Shall I show you what it is? So what this is choose one that you want to look at. Like this one is fully. And I'll give you some nice coloured pens here. This is nice. So which one do you use? So at the moment, how good do you think you are at being very good? Keep it. All right, 6. Okay. We've got a great listener here. That's good. Right up to 6. Now, one question for you. Okay, why are you a good listener? Why do you go to the chapter on being a good listener? Here it is. Always welcome sometimes. Read this. Do you listen to curiosity? Or maybe I'm really, really good. You choose. Well, my friends, we have come to the end. And the good sign of a good lesson is people want to carry on. But I want to make sure you stop now. But we can still carry on talking about it in the lesson. The table at the back there had an absolutely brilliant idea that has shaped my thinking now. In this context, they put a line up here on one of them. It was public speaking like that. They put a line up here, and they said, if I was judging myself back home in Ukraine, I'd give myself 7 out of 10. In the UK, it's only 3 out of 10. Why? Well, it's so obvious. It's the language, it's the confidence, it's the sense of knowing what the expectations are. But isn't that important? So instead of saying it's only 3, no, back in Ukraine, I was 7. I could nail that. I was great. One of the reasons I asked people to come up the front here, and I can often read people who will do it and who won't, is that the very act of coming up here and sharing your story today is part of your growth. If you're given an opportunity with a friendly audience like this, grab it. Kate said to me in the week, Stephen, I'd like to do a play with you. Amazing. Kate, respect. Because she knows that if I just go on and on, it gets a bit boring. She probably said it's got to be more interactive. I have actually done quite a lot of interactivity today. But can you see, this is your course. This is so precious this time. You won't have another free course like this, I don't think. We've been given money by the local authority, Lewisham, to make sure you thrive. Not survive, thrive. Say it, thrive. Natalia, you had a crap job. You're more important than that crap job. Yeah? I'm not saying you're going to get another job now, but you've gone through that. We want you to have high expectations. And part of it might just be, I need to knuckle down and carry on with that ESOL course. How many of you are doing ESOL at the moment? Show your hands. Roman, respect for you. Roman has very little English, but you are so welcome here. Translate, Kate. Really welcome here. But it takes 6 months at least to learn English. Stephen and I were talking the other day. Stephen is learning Spanish. Trying. It takes time. I am so crap at languages. I would not be able to learn anything. Honestly, I am dyslexic with languages. I hardly know English very well. I do. I say. So anyways, listen. Today has just helped you to start seeing soft skills will supercharge your career. This book is your book. Keep it now. Look at it at home. We are changing it all the time because of feedback. This idea of a line in the middle for different contexts, inspired, absolutely inspired. We'll change it because of that. Okay? So everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Have we had a great session? Run on the spot. Come on, run on the spot. Yeah? Hands up in the air. Okay? Get the energy going. Goodbye, Instagram land. Goodbye, YouTube land. Wave to them. Thank you very much. Next week, Helena, what are we doing next week? We're doing what? Your rights. Okay, awareness about rights. And Natalia, this would have really helped you because you could have said to them, that's illegal to do what I'm doing. Okay, so we'll do rights before. The bar is open. Have a drink. We have to charge a little bit. £2 for a beer and £2.50 for a wine. Cheap as chips, okay? Have a go and then out of here by 10 o'clock. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.